Right, a 54-hour Rand water pipeline maintenance project has wrapped up. The utility adds that water pressure should be improved tonight. We're joined by Rand Water CEO Sipho Mosai. Mr. Mosai, good evening to you. Thanks for your time. So let's talk about the deadline then that Rand Water had set itself, 54 hours, to be exactly sure that you would complete all you needed to do. Is that the case?
Yes, good evening, Kathy. I think certainly that's the case. Our maintenance program and project has been delivered on brief and on budget on time. We started in earnest on Monday, the 15th, and we did indicate that we intend to complete the entire work on the 17th. I'm happy to report that in all the areas of our operation, particularly to our consumers, that indeed we've completed the task at hand on brief, on budget, on time. And we hope going forward that the members of public will give us the support that they gave us during this time, their understanding and commitment to using water sparingly, and heeded the call for us when we requested them to use water sparingly and ensure that we complete this task at hand. We were able to ensure that most areas continue to have water. There may have been reductions here and there, but what we must understand that we only reduced water supply by 600 million liters of water that we provide against about 4,500 million liters of water that we provide. But yes, indeed, correctly, the maintenance program has been done successfully, completed.
Mr. Mosai, I think there'll be many people who, of course, would support the need for Rand Water to continuously do maintenance work. What can we expect? Is this going to be something that happens often?
Yes, I think what we have been doing in the last 10 years or so as Rand Water, we've been augmenting our system. We've been laying a lot of pipes. As Rand Water, we have a network of about 3,500 kilometers of pipes across the length and breadth of our area of operation. This is now the entire Gauteng, Mpumalanga, parts of Northwest, and a little bit of Free State. As we augment for the future augmentation of future water needs together with the current ones, we have been laying a lot of pipes. What we do when we lay pipes, we not only lay bigger pipes for future growth, but we also cross-connect our pipes for maintenance purposes. So what has been happening in the last few years is that we've been laying a lot of these pipes. We will from time to time need to cross-connect them. Maintenance, Kathy, should be an ongoing thing, should be a regular thing. Plant maintenance is critical, so that you go into those pipes, you inspect them, to ensure that you don't have leaks, you don't have bursts, and indeed your pipes are clean, efficient in terms of energy as you run them. So we anticipate that perhaps in the first quarter of next year, we will be politely coming back to our consumers requesting for an additional shutdown. But what we will do with the old maintenance that we are going to be embarking on, we're going to be issuing again in advance about 24-hour notice so that everybody is prepared in advance to deal with this, so that they actually need to know, so that they know exactly what they need to do in the build-up of that period of time. So yes, on a quarterly basis, we would want to see all else remaining the same if we can't have major shutdowns. We do have shutdowns or maintenance plans, routine maintenance at all material time in our area of operation. So the answer is yes, we will be having maintenance, routine maintenance, planned maintenance periodically to keep our infrastructure going so that we don't have unnecessary breakdowns.
Of course, the difficulty for many consumers is that on the one hand, you have Rand Water, the Department of Water, telling people use water sparingly. But one just needs to take a drive down a couple of roads in Johannesburg to see the amount of water that is actually leaking. What is being done to address that? Because we're currently sitting at a situation where half of the water that is available and supplied in South Africa doesn't reach households because of leaks.
Yes, that's correct. I think, as we know, that most of our municipalities are losing about between 40 and 45% of the water, clean water that we provide them as a result of the aging infrastructure. And that is why you see what you're seeing currently as you drive in most municipalities. I think it's as a result of old infrastructure. But Kathy, most municipalities have plans in place, particularly the big three that we work with, City of Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, and Tshwane, to rise above this challenge and tackle it head on. I think ideally what we need to do is to provide the necessary support to our water and sanitation departments in this municipality. Make sure that they have enough budget to be able to fix those leaks through what we call water conservation and demand management measures. At night, reduce the pressures, replace those old pipes, and then we can really turn the tide. But yes, you're correct. I think as a sector, we do have a challenge of non-revenue water leaks at the municipal level. In the bulk level, we don't have that much of a challenge. I think we lose only just about 4% and below at that level. But it is something that we as consumers, we need to provide support and the necessary budget to our municipalities to turn the tide in terms of those water leaks.
I know often, institutions like yours don't want to enter the fray, but do you think that municipalities are doing enough to maintain their infrastructure? Because you're certainly holding up on your end of the bargain. When residents don't end up getting water, it doesn't become a local municipality problem, it becomes a Rand water problem because you are seen as the one that is being incompetent here.
I just think the municipalities are doing the best that they can at this point in time with the challenges that most of our municipalities are facing. Well, I think they need to do a lot more. And really, I think in terms of my experience, ideally, I would really want municipalities, when they budget, to budget a lot more towards water and sanitation, specifically around maintenance, specifically around the upgrade. I think in most instances, in municipalities, water and sanitation are the second biggest revenue spinner. But we would like to have our CFOs and our councils in those municipalities also allocating a biggest chunk of the budget towards water and sanitation. I think our colleagues are doing the best that they can with the limited budget that they have, but certainly it's not enough. And I think we have a huge backlog. We have this infrastructure that we inherited, and the demand is growing as faster than the supply side. The infrastructure, it's really giving in, and it's an old infrastructure. So I just think from that point of view, we really have an obligation to ensure that our municipalities have the necessary budget to deal with those. And as soon as we do that, channel a lot of budget towards water and sanitation, we'll be able to have our municipalities fixing those leaks and attending to issues of upgrade. All of them, by and large, they have a backlog. And I think it's up to us at municipal level, when we do our IDPs and water service development plans, we raise our eyes and we raise our arms and indicate in those community meetings that we recommend our municipalities should make allocation, a substantial allocation towards water and sanitation. So we really want and hope that our municipality will hit that call. Because, as you say, 40% of clean water that goes to waste, it's going to catch up with most of the municipalities going forward. So it is a budget issue, and I have no doubt that they're doing the best that they can with the limited budget that they have to turn the situation around.
As Rand Water, you probably understand firsthand the extent to which this country has an unequal distribution of resources, including water. Is there a strategy that you have about making water access a lot more equitable?
Oh, yes. I think if we go back into the department, there are various documents that they've put together to make sure that water is equitable in the long run. That includes also servicing the rural sector. I think the department is best positioned to do that. But most municipalities also have in their plans. Again, Kathy, it's an issue of the budget, really. I think if municipalities and our government at national level, one of the biggest challenges that we have is allocation of the budget towards water and sanitation, because it really costs money, to move water from point A to point B after you have purified it. So the limitations are around the financials in terms of the budget. So I think there are plans that you will find in municipalities, that you'll find in the department, to make access to water more equitably. Yes.
Let's leave it there for tonight. Rand Water CEO, and that was, of course, Sipho Mosai on the latest, and as far as that 54-hour pipeline maintenance project was concerned. He says all on track and full supply should be restored tomorrow.